Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. So I'm in Local Falcon. The keyword here is hardwood flooring. It's a 4 mile radius 9x9 grid. There's a lot of top competitors that rank really well for this keyword, but the example that I want to go over is a competitor that ranks slightly outside this grid, but they have the top right quadrant where they're ranking almost 14% of the time on page one. And before I even go any further, dots 1, 2, and 3 is the dark green. If I click on this means that if you Google the word hardwood flooring exactly in this geo coordinate from the time that I ran the scan, you would find them on page one of Google. Google only displays the top 3 organic map pack listings. That's why dots 1, 2, and 3 are so important. Okay, so when you search for eco floor sanding, this is their Google business profile that shows up, and there's a few things that they're doing really well with. So to start, number one, they have 61 Google reviews. If you click into this, you can see that they have reviews. They actually, what's really helpful is when they have reviews where people share photos. They haven't gotten any reviews recently on Google, but I'm going to get into more of the reviews in a second. But it's great that I really like when people share the photos in their review. That helps with engagement and also helps in general potentially lead to a higher quality lead because people then can see the before and after. So whenever I see this with a listing that has the before and after photos, or just at least just the after photos, that's great. Another thing that I really like is this reviews from the web. So they have Facebook, a house, and Angie. So I talk about this a lot. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, so don't only get reviews on Google. If you can get reviews on secondary sites as well, then they will show up right over here reviews from the web. So again, it gives more credibility to their listing. Again, it shows up directly in the knowledge panel from Google Business Profile. I always say to all my clients, whether you can get Yelp or Facebook or TrustIndex.io or Trustpilot, whatever you can do to get more reviews, that is huge. Next, what's really important is that their primary category is flooring contractor. So the primary category holds the most weight. So if you are a flooring contractor, don't have your primary category as contractor, have it very specific into what you do that holds more weight. Next, I talk about this all the time. Having a physical address is so important. I've received a few leads now from potential local SEO clients, and there's been a trend where they don't have a physical address. And then they always say to me, well, we go out and, do the work. And obviously so does eco floor sanding. But if you have a physical address, you can actually build a radius around that. You can get more leads. It's always worth it. Whether you can get like a business location, one room or anything else that you can actually have your physical location at. Obviously they have more than that, but I always talk about that. You need to have a physical location to rank better simply than just having a service area listing. 617 is a Boston area phone number. I always say that gives a little bit more stronger signals to Google that this is a local business. So a toll-free number like 800 something versus 617. 617 is always going to stand out a little bit better. A couple of other things too. I like how they have their updates over here. So you can see that they have tons of photos like this one. I'll click right into it. You can see that they have a photo one, and I'll scroll over here. Again, these are all engagement factors. They talk about the work that they did. I always recommend if you can, share photos, try to stay away from the AI generated photos. I think people can tell. It just looks a little bit cold if you just only have AI generated photos for everything for your team doing something. Authentic photos, again, we're looking for higher quality leads. People who see this, they can see that, this is a legit business. And the work that they did. So I always try to call that out whenever I see that. And then finally, they have their social profiles over here, which is great. One other thing, too, that I really like is that when you're on their website, obviously they have their website up here. Yelp shows up immediately. So again, that's that secondary site where they're getting reviews on. But then they also have a LinkedIn listing. And I'm going to actually click into this just to see what comes up. Let's see. So they mention Waltham, Massachusetts. Let's go to their About page. And they list off their location too. So I talk about this as well. LinkedIn is, I believe, owned by Microsoft now. So Microsoft uses, you can see Microsoft Bing. This is the Microsoft Bing mapping. So if you can put your physical address directly into LinkedIn, that feeds directly into Bing places for business. I know I'm talking about Google, but you're looking for more third-party sites to really confirm your name, address, phone number, and also your location as well. I always try to call that out, that again, if you have any business, just get a LinkedIn and put your address there. Okay, let's go back to the Google results. And then this is their website over here, Eco Floor Sanding. So let's go into it. What I like is that under services, they have hardwood flooring installation, and they have a few other ones as well. If you go into one of their target pages, again, I talk about this with my geo pages, but having a clean layout, so you can see it's white background, and then it's like green, and then it's dark green. This really stands out. The skimmability is very important. People aren't reading 2,000 words about hardwood floor installation. They just need to land on the page, see what they can do, free online estimate or call. Um, I think I think the design is so key, especially if you're offering a service like this where it's flooring and you want to show the before and after. That's always important too. Now, one thing that I think they could do a little bit better is, so they have let me go up to their portfolio section. I think this is it. Yeah. So this is good that they have this, but what I personally would recommend is I would use trustindex.io, and then I would actually embed your reviews directly onto your main landing pages, because again, what I showed earlier was that some people do leave reviews with photos directly in their Google Business profile. You can then embed that widget directly onto the landing page, and it can actually showcase that for people's reviews plus also the photos. That's obviously a really good way to improve your local SEO. Another thing that you could do as well. So I've seen things that I like, but also things that they could potentially do. Let me go into their image. I'm just curious what they got here. Floor, wood floor installed and finished. And we'll go to another one. I'll put this one over here. Inspect. Yeah. You could get a little bit more descriptive with your images. It's not a huge deal, but I would probably get more geo targeted. So I'd say something like Waltham or the Worcester area, or anything else like within your alt tag and also your file name. So it's just a slight ranking factor, but otherwise doing pretty good. And let's go to, how about one more services? Let's go to hardwood floor staining over here. Professional floor staining experts. Again, I think what you could do with this to get a little bit better with the, or tighter with the local SEOs, you can include something like Waltham professional floor staining directly in the H1 over here. But for the most part, though, it is pretty good. Again, I like the layout: white, and then lighter, and then light green, and then dark green. I think that makes a huge difference. There's other things they could do too. I always mention this, so I'm at the end of this now. Within the footer, I would personally embed the Google Business profile directly in here. The map builds that connection between both profiles, so your website, also your Google Business profile. I would also have the Trust Index reviews, as I mentioned, and I would actually get a little more geo specific into a city like Waltham. But let's just go back though to this over here. If you look at hardwood flooring, there's a total of, I mean, look at all the businesses that sort of, hit this quadrant. There's a total of 81 companies that sort of compete for this keyword, hardwood flooring. And obviously hardwood flooring could be anything. It could be, a supplier, working with contractors, or it could be a company that actually will install or repair hardwood flooring. But this gives you an idea though that generally within a 4 mile radius, look at the top competitors over here. If they're owning this spot and they're on dots 1, 2, and 3, they're getting the majority of the phone calls, website clicks, booking appointments, and even potential direction requests as well, if that's important. So just want to kind of record this video, kind of share some things that I like what they're doing, and maybe this might spark some ideas of what you guys can do for your business. Let me know if you have any questions, and as always, have a good rest of your day.